And then I realized something, like, your taste in games is your taste in games, you know? You don't have to like what everybody else likes.
Like Skyrim.
Yeah.
No, you do. There's certain games where that's not applicable.
But
Hey everyone, welcome to the All Chat Gaming Podcast. We're the Odd Man Out. I'm Keefin.
I'm Tanner.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Nick.
So, slide his phone away. Super professionally.
Because he still hasn't remembered.
So, today we're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to go back to a more traditional format. Last week was more of a just predictions kind of thing. So this week we're going to go a little bit more formal. What have we played? I have literally not played anything. I was in New York, and since I've been back, I haven't played anything. So it's been like over a week since I've even touched a video game. So I got nothing.
Okay. Well, I have played stuff. The first thing I should say is I beat Prince of Persia: Sands of Time on Steam
for the 50th time.
For the second time.
Oh.
You were just a little off. Just a little.
You know, I really enjoyed it, but it was one of those things where I was like just ready for it to be done. It was good though, but I just played it because I was just like, I just played for like 2 hours straight. I'm just like, I just want to be done with it and uninstall it from my computer to free up space and stuff like that. But then in some other news, I received a PlayStation 4 from that guy.
Because
I stole it from him. He still doesn't know.
No, I sold him my PlayStation so I could buy an Xbox One X.
Join the club!
Woo! Anyways, go on.
Boo. Anyway, so I actually did download Smite.
Oh, good.
On PlayStation 4. I didn't know.
Not that you can play with us.
Oh, no.
I didn't know it was PlayStation 4.
We'll get to that later.
So there's no crossplay?
We'll get to that later. But no.
Not even between Xbox and PC?
Oh, probably.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Oh, then I can get it on that and play with you guys. Jeez.
Yeah.
I have a good computer, and I don't mind playing at both places. But I got it on the PS4 just because it was free. I was like, what free games can I download when I first got it? Tried it out, played as Thor. It was all right. It was a little difficult to see. I couldn't see health bars as easily as I can in League.
The scaling's probably off.
Thor's pretty. I played Thor once. I play Smite every now and then with a work buddy. Okay. Except for I'm usually Ymir. He's like an ice tank.
Ymir.
Okay.
I've played Smite a couple times. I think it's cool. I just don't like it.
So it's not cool.
I think it's a cool idea. Cool the idea of having a MOBA but in a different perspective is a cool idea. Just not my thing.
I agree with you.
I'll play with you guys just because I like playing with friends. So I'll play if we all do a game sometime. I'll do it. It's just not really my kind of game.
Well, I really only play when Jonah wants me to.
Yeah.
And my first impression is I was thinking, is it, could this be a game that I get really into and have a lot of fun with? I hope so. I would want that. And then I played it. It was I don't know. It was just, I just don't know how to explain it.
What are you two doing?
Sorry, we got some hanky panky going on.
I just want some room.
Anyway, they like doing this, during my segments
all the time.
It's because we don't want to listen. Okay.
So did I play anything else?
Yes, you did.
That's a lot. I played Overwatch with Nick.
Yeah, you did.
For one session.
That's why it wasn't memorable.
What?
I wish I was playing with Keefin.
No, you don't.
Just kidding. Anyway, so that's
Nick's significantly better. You don't wish you were playing with me.
Okay, Nick, I'll go last.
Oh, okay. You're just going to throw it on me then? No, that's okay.
So we can go in order.
Okay, that's fair. So this week, I have played a plethora of games.
Good word.
Yeah, isn't that a great thing?
It is.
Plethora.
Let's talk about that.
Proud of you.
It sounds like a good word to plethora. English.
Now you're right.
Yeah, you kind of messed it up.
Dumb.
You used it too many times now.
Anyways. Use that plethora next time.
A plethora. This is why people listen to our podcast, for this witty banter.
Subscribe.
Please. We want a plethora of subscribers.
You kind of brought it back. All right, now continue with what you actually played.
So there's this game coming out on the Nintendo Switch in July.
Ooh, what?
Called Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, don't really care.
I don't even know what it is.
Octopath Traveler. Is it about an octopus on a path and you
Wait,
have to travel?
is it like Octodad?
I was about to
No.
ask that too.
No,
if it was that
it's
game,
not
I'd
anything
be all
like
about
that.
Is it like Dr. Ock?
No.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, I will admit the name for this game is really stupid. But so it's a Square Enix game. It's an RPG. It's a Japanese RPG.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's stylized. It's like a 3D world with like Final Fantasy VI kind of sprites and
Oh,
stuff.
the one you were playing earlier.
The one I was playing earlier this week, yeah.
Wait, when does it come out?
It comes out in July 13th.
How are you playing it?
Because there's a demo.
Okay.
Didn't I say that I was playing a demo? I thought I was.
No.
Oh, so there's a demo.
Oh.
Dumb.
And it lets you do 3 hours of game time, and so I used them up in one day because I'm a nerd.
It's true.
And so you've played a Final Fantasy game. You've played a Final Fantasy game. Have you played a Final Fantasy game?
No.
See, I haven't either until, well, this isn't a Final Fantasy game, but the game is definitely like heavily inspired by Final Fantasy.
Final Destination.
Final Fantasy. And I mean, Square Enix developed it, so obviously they developed the Final Fantasy games. But it's a Switch exclusive. It's coming to the Switch July 13th, and I think it's really cool. I guess to kind of preface it. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk.
Preface.
To preface it.
Harry Potter.
So the reason it's called Octopath is because there's 8 characters. Octo means 8. And they all are like in different spots in the world, and they're all different classes, and they have different jobs, and they all go on their own path throughout the game. Like each one has like a specific goal they want to accomplish. Like for example, I started with a cleric named Ophelia, and her goal is
Stupid name, really.
What's wrong with that name?
I'm just kidding.
You're ruining this for him, man.
Anyways, so
excited.
she's a cleric, and she follows something called the Blue Eternal Flame or something like that.
Stupid name.
It is though. It kind of is a stupid name. It is stupid, and so her sister was supposed to be. So there's this ritual that they do where they go get the blue sacred flame and they bring it back to the town and blah blah blah. It's like a rite of passage.
Shiz.
Well, I guess in a way, but then I guess after that it doesn't really say why she leaves the town to go on her own journey, but like after that she's like, I'm gonna follow where the blue eternal flame takes me, and so she goes off on her own path, and that's how it goes. I don't remember exactly. It's
Real question: is it fun?
Oh, I'm loving it.
There you go.
So, do you like turn-based combat?
Nope.
Then you wouldn't like it.
Sometimes I can like it. I mean,
Depends.
I've liked it with most Final Fantasy games.
I like it in Worms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Pokemon? It's actually very similar to Pokemon in a way.
Throw
Just
No,
like Pokemon
balls
Yellow.
at people.
Yeah. I mean, it's still more complicated than Pokemon, but it's, similar to that. So basically in the combat, there's random encounters like wild grass and Pokemon when you go out into the dangerous zones.
Okay.
And so you start out in the battle and you have your fight, and then you're like run away, and then there's abilities, and then there's use item.
It sounds like Final Fantasy,
Yeah,
just
it's a
not Final Fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. And there's this new mechanic though. I don't think that's in any other Final Fantasy game. It's called boost mode. So you get like boost points after you do an action every turn. And if you use them, it like enhances your abilities. Like instead of just a basic attack, if you use boost mode, you can do 2 basic attacks. Or if you use it on your abilities do more damage.
Are there like overdrives?
Yeah, that's what it is though, basically. It's like an overdrive.
It's just a different system of overdrive.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just kind of like that. One thing that's interesting is there's also a mechanic called breaking where the enemies have like a shield. Like let's say the enemy has 3 shield. If you hit it 3 times with the right kind of weapon or the right kind of ability that it's weak to, it'll break, and then they're stunned. And when they're stunned, they take more damage.
That's a little similar to Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah.
Because like in 13, you can break them like that, but you don't have to use a... I mean, I guess you do kind of have to use a particular combination, because if you... The Ravager, they have it's a different system than most of the other Final Fantasy games. There's Commando, a Ravager, a Medic, Synergist, and Saboteur. And so when the Ravagers attack, it brings up that little... You have to get the bar to a certain point for it to break the shield. Mm-hmm. And then if you use Ravagers, like it boosts it up really quick, but then it goes down really fast too. So that's why you need a commando, because when the commando hits them with their sword or weapon, then it makes it go down a lot slower. And so if you have like a commando and 2 ravagers, then you can get that shield break to happen pretty quickly.
Is it because the commando doesn't have underwear on and it's so surprising?
And it's commando.
The entire time I was listening to that explanation, I just knew that one of these two was.
I couldn't help myself. He kept saying the word, and I was like,
Yeah.
I
knew
resisted.
He really likes this word.
I resisted for so long. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with the name.
So yeah, it is similar to that system, but it sounds a little less complicated in this game. Although I've only played the game with 2 people in combat, so I'm not sure how fleshed out it is. But yeah, so after you leave your starting area, you have to go find the other 8 travelers and recruit them. So the next person I recruited was the huntress named Hanit, I think is her name. And she talks like she's from the 1500s. Like she says ye and thee and
Like a scrub.
and she says words weird like,
And is everyone else talking normal?
and everyone else pretty much talks normally.
Like,
yeah.
what's up?
Well, not like that. Well, I mean, essentially that's what it's like when she talks to normal people in the game. Normal people, but yeah, I'm really liking the demo. I'm definitely going to buy the game because I'm a sucker for these kind of JRPGs. I don't play a lot of JRPGs, but when it comes to games like this, when they're a little more simplified and they're stylized in the way that I like, you know, that's the kind of game that I like. So I'm going to pick that game up. Other games I played this week. So I started playing Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor yesterday. And to preface that, like I said earlier, I bought an Xbox One X this week. I know, like, I am a PC gamer, but, you know, Ryan, Keefin, and our roommate Adam, and my dad even all have Xboxes, and there are a lot of games I can't play on PC with them because not all games have crossplay. So, you know, I wanted to get another Xbox because, you know, I grew up playing Xbox, but I didn't want to get an S because, like, I wanted the more power, you know, because since I'm a PC guy, like, I like having the extra power, and the X is a lot more powerful. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to splurge and get the X. And so far, I'm satisfied. I don't have a 4K TV yet, hoping to get one tomorrow. But
Scrub.
Shut up. But even on a 1080p TV, like, it's noticeably better. Like,
It does make it.
Fortnite
It
looks
upresses
better.
it.
Yeah, I actually did notice too, because
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor looked better. Fortnite looked better,
And it runs better.
Yeah, and it runs a lot better. And the loading times on the X are so much better. Like, I watched Ryan play Shadow of War on his S yesterday. It took like a minute or more for like the game to load for the first time, and I'm like,
I should pull up my original Xbox One,
oh, the OG. That's the one my dad
the big
has.
fat VCR
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Pull that one out compared to my X, and we'll see. Do a good test there.
But yeah, so I played some Shadow of Mordor, and I'm really liking
That's
the
a good game.
Yeah, it's
I
a really
still need to play the new
satisfying
one.
Like, the combat in that game is really satisfying.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was telling Nick, I play Shadow of War whenever I am deeply troubled and need to de-stress a lot.
So how often do you play it?
Every day.
No, I actually hadn't played it for a very long time. I did, and
That's
once I saw Nick playing Shadow of Mordor, then I'm like, oh, I want to play it again. And so then I started. I played it for like 5 minutes before we came here. Actually,
Yeah.
Good job.
I like the game a lot, actually. And, you know, I love the Lord of the Rings universe. And I'm really excited to play Shadow of War in 4K.
I need to play that still.
So,
Real quick, just to go off topic just a little bit. If you like the Lord of the Rings, you know, story, have you heard about the news with the TV show?
there's a TV show.
oh yeah, I heard about.
Is it like a Netflix, or is it going to be a
Netflix,
TV show?
Netflix.
Netflix?
Should have been HBO. They probably would have done it better.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm okay with it being Netflix, and Ian McKellen wants to reprise the role.
Oh, he wants to play Gandalf.
Yeah,
Oh,
That surprises
no,
me.
he wants to play Frodo.
he really wanted a role switch. He kind of got bored with Gandalf, so
But it takes
Go
place
Hobbit.
before. I don't know if it's before the Hobbit.
Silmarillion.
Is it going to be before The Hobbit or before Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, that's some Lord
I
of the
think
Rings
it's-
knowledge. I'm
It's
dropping.
before Lord of the Rings. I don't know if it's before the Hobbit or not. I'm not
I
sure.
probably didn't say it right.
Either way, I am interested. Do you know if that's like coming out soon, or is it just like announced?
It's like, oh, it's announced and it's in development. So, you know, if
Probably a year or two.
If we
It
go
took a
off
long
the,
time.
if we go off the timeline that they've done for Seven Deadly Sins, how about let's say 7 years?
but also, you know, series of unfortunate events. They announced that, and it took a long time for it to come out. So, anyway,
Although I am interested in that, but yeah. Anyway, I'm excited to play Shadow of War in 4K. And then the only other games I played was Overwatch with Tanner this week. We won a couple comp games.
yeah, we did.
We had a pretty good Far Mercy combo going on.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I kicked butt.
We were awesome.
What's funny is
I healed butt.
Yeah, you healed butt.
You healed her butt.
Yeah, right.
And
so
only
So
that.
this week, instead of Ryan being obsessed with butts, it's you guys.
oh my gosh, shut up. But so I got a triple kill with my ultimate one of those games, and then I got play of the game, but it wasn't the ultimate kill. It was like me just shooting rockets randomly, getting kills instead of my ultimate.
It was
kill.
the weirdest thing.
It was so dumb, but
Anyway.
But yeah, that's all I've played this week.
So, I played this week just a little more Shadow of War. I played some Rocket League, a little bit of Heroes, but actually I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Ultra Moon this week.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because Nick and I bought Ultra Moon, he bought Ultra Sun a couple months ago.
On your 3DS?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I wasn't playing it for a long time because I have I have an Xbox One S and a really good computer. I'm usually going to be playing on those too. But since we're not going to be living together for much longer, I decided that I was going to try and beat the game so Nick and I can have an epic Pokemon
Insert
battle.
sad music into that part.
An epic Pokemon battle.
No, them leaving each other.
Dun, dun, dun. Anyways.
You just stare at the camera.
I actually think I've lived with him longer than I lived with you.
Yeah, but not in total. Wait.
No, yeah,
Yes, in
in
total. Yep.
2 years. I've lived with
Should we count all the weekends
No, 'cause
that
we
I
were
a
spent?
year and a half.
Should we count all the weekends I spent at your house?
All right, boys. Keep it in your pants. You're all winners in Ryan's book.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
But yeah,
Right,
that's what I did this week.
I was gonna say, but
Yep, it was fun.
I will say I'm gonna go back to me on my vacation now a little bit because I didn't play any games, but I did do other stuff. And one thing I did want to talk about because we mentioned Harry Potter at some point.
We did it.
You did.
You did.
Cool. Bringing up my own
mention Harry
topic. Harry Potter was brought up at one point in this podcast.
No, it wasn't. Not this one.
It was. He said it.
Oh, I must have not heard it.
But now I get to bring it up again.
Yeah.
And then I saw a Harry Potter play called The Puffs. So it's an off-Broadway show. It's not technically
Oh, it's not
Harry
canon.
Potter. In that it's not like...
It's about Hufflepuffs being druggies.
No, but it is about Hufflepuffs. They can't say Hufflepuff, so they say Puffs.
Oh.
And they say the Braves, the Smarts, the Snakes, and the Puffs. And they can say Harry Potter, and they can take various things, but not all of them. But the idea is it's about the Hufflepuffs during the 7 years of Harry Potter being there, and how it would be like to be the loser group while the most popular wizard in the world is at your school. And it's just really freaking funny.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
It's amazing. It's super funny, super witty. They have really great parts. Cedric is of course their main guy until he dies, spoiler. And they're all so sad about it. They're always trying to get for third place in the House Cup because that's better than fourth.
We're number 3.
Yeah, that they even chant it. And they're the first one until then Gryffindor becomes number 1 because they're actually a change of rules.
Oh yeah.
They learn the same lessons during that time, but they'd get points taken away. Really funny, really it was just great. So if it ever comes anywhere else, I would recommend watching it because it's great. They did a lot of other fun stuff in New York, but that was the one that I just thought would be pretty relevant to nerd culture and is really funny.
Actually, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great. I would recommend everyone watch that. But moving past that, won't dwell too much on my vacation. We're going to move on to gaming news. So we don't have much this time. I think the first thing that I wanted to bring up was kind of the, I guess you could say the losers of the console war right now. Although Switch is, I don't really know that they'd be a loser, but compared to PlayStation, they're kind of losers. But their cross-play functionality tweets that they've done back and forth are really great. Mm-hmm. It was something like, let's build something together, and Xbox would reply, oh, what do you want to build? And then Minecraft replied with a heart, you guys should build this. And it was just a really funny back and forth.
I looked at that.
Yep.
It was just really great. And then PlayStation people were just all alone, and just separated into our 50 million people whatever room. But it's really funny to see that how much other consoles are embracing this cross functionality to bring gamers together. And maybe Sony doesn't need to, but it would kind of be a cool thing to do to really help bring gamers together.
like
Because-
all together. You know?
Yeah, like at this point, like they've already done so well. It's not going to really hurt them to open up a
No,
little
of course
bit.
it won't.
And it's just like the same thing, like Oblivion or Skyrim on PlayStation 4. Why would you ever get it there? Like it was just like the old releases you could get before.
For the VR.
Very, very little mod functionality.
Like
Xbox,
Xbox.
you could do anything you want with it. I added a million different ones.
You know, I have so many mods on my.
I threw so many. I added too many at one point, and now with my X, I kind of want to go back and see if it can run that. I had an open world one.
Oh, there's a
where-
4K patch for it. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
no, I played it with that, but I just haven't. So there's a specific mod that I was using that would crash the game consistently, and it was
Mods.
open city, open worlds.
Oh.
You could literally jump across the wall to get into any city. You never had to go through a door. Everything was open. Dragons could fly over cities and fight, and the guards would sit there like fighting with you. Like it was really cool. Excuse me. It felt way more immersive, and it worked pretty well. But fast traveling was a problem, especially to a place you hadn't been in a while, and the game was like, no, and then it would crash. So I would like to try it with my X, but yeah, that was just one of the things that I wish PlayStation would kind of adopt a little bit more, is just a little bit of more friendly behavior toward other consoles and toward their people.
Have you ever played Skyrim?
I played it once when you left it on your computer at your house.
No, I mean you have
I've played
access
that
to my
game too many
Steam.
times.
It's weird to see someone
What?
who hasn't
You have it
played
on my
Skyrim.
Steam.
Yeah, I do.
It's on everything.
Play it.
I have no
It's on
interest
Alexa.
in Skyrim.
Dude, it's so good.
So
I have
fun.
you
no,
played it?
I have zero interest in it.
What?
So sorry, I kind of interjected, but Skyrim's actually on Alexa now.
Oh yeah, I've seen
What
it.
does
Oh yeah,
that
I
mean?
saw the.
You didn't know that?
No.
I thought it was a joke.
Well,
No,
it is a joke, but it actually is on there. So on at Bethesda's E3 conference, they announced Skyrim Very Special Edition,
That's really funny.
and they put it on Alexa, they put it on Etch a Sketch, and it was a joke. It wasn't real, but you actually can play Skyrim on Alexa.
So you can say like, Alexa, have my character like move forward or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it'll it's like playing Dungeons and Dragons with her basically.
That's pretty funny.
It is
actually.
pretty funny. Yeah, I'm gonna show you that video after this. but,
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your gaming news? I think you're the only other person, right?
Well, I wanted to keep talking about the crossplay thing for a little
Okay.
bit
Yeah, that's
because
fine.
I've been following it a little more. A lot of people are just giving Sony crap, obviously, but I think the main reason Sony isn't doing it is because they've sold 80 million PlayStation 4s in the planet. And, they have a huge lead. They're like 40 million ahead of Xbox, 60 million ahead of Switch. They don't have any reason to do crossplay because, everyone's on their platform, right? But it's just,
It would be nice.
it'd be nice. It's so weird how cocky that PlayStation has got, or Sony has got.
Well, that's what
PlayStation 4.
Microsoft was after
Yeah.
360. And
Actually,
you see how that failed.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like they've switched places. Last generation, Microsoft was like getting kind of conceited about it, but now Sony's the one that's conceited.
And they had to come out with a bunch of new
they had to
stuff
come
to
back.
make everything look nice. And, price
And now
cuts.
Microsoft has come a long way. Another reason I bought the X is just because I've been so impressed with the way Microsoft has been treating gamers lately. They released the X, which is really powerful, which is a real, actual next gen upgrade. And then they opened up crossplay. They brought Game Pass. They made
backwards compatibility.
Backwards
all the way back to
compatibility.
the first Xbox.
with 4K upscaling too.
Actually, Sega Genesis.
Well, I mean, that was just support anyways.
Yeah.
But
and they
have upscaling on most
And
of
they
those
have
games to
upscaling
make
on
it
those
look
games.
and play better.
and they even have the Xbox accessibility controller for disability people.
You?
So me, for people who are disabled, so that they can game. So I've been really impressed with Microsoft lately, and I'm just kind of disappointed that Sony is just not budging. It's just,
And like you said, they don't have to.
and they won't. I know they won't because they have the huge market share, and the majority of people aren't going to care. But I don't know though, because the pressure has been going on. Because Nintendo and Microsoft released a trailer for the crossplay. Did you see it?
I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, but they released a trailer for it, and it's pretty passive aggressive actually. It's pretty interesting to see Nintendo be so passive aggressive and throwing.
They're
shade.
usually not like that at all.
Yeah,
but they've really opened.
But they've
up with
changed
the
a lot
Switch.
since the Switch launch. So
Yeah.
But maybe they will budge if people keep pressuring them enough. But I don't know. I feel like they have so much money now from the PlayStation 4. We'll see. We'll see. But
Well, the other thing people I think don't realize in this console war if you can call it that,
Isn't really
is that Microsoft doesn't have to be the way that Sony and Nintendo have to be.
No,
Because they have their computer, they have
Windows
entire
10.
like they software, hardware. They have so much else, and the others don't really. I mean, Sony has TVs and they have a couple other things, but they're not really a wide brands like Microsoft is. So in that aspect, that might actually give the Xbox a little bit of uplift. Is that it is easier for them to add in all those things because they already have the PC platform.
which is awesome. I've loved
Yeah.
it. The play anywhere function is awesome. You know how we can all play Minecraft, and you can play on your you can play on your Xbox, and I can play on my PC, and we can do it for Sea of Thieves too. And it's like, you know,
And I could play Sea of Thieves on my computer as well if I want.
Yeah,
It goes both ways. Buying it once, I get it both places.
Yeah.
So it is really cool.
Maybe things will change next generation. I don't know though. I think Xbox has a chance of winning next generation though with the way they're going. So we'll see if Sony ever budges on crossplay. We'll see.
So taking from what you just said, I'm going to go in a little bit what you said about how you wanted to see like a little bit about my past what I'd said 2 podcasts ago, whatever it was, on what I'd hoped for E3. So I honestly didn't watch as much as I should have. I watched all of Microsoft and I watched pieces of others, but I just generally focused on that one because it's the console I have. And I did watch some others. Like I did watch like the Spider-Man thing because that's cool.
Yeah.
But so with Microsoft, I think it was almost everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I say almost because I feel like I was hoping for more exclusives to be announced, but they did buy out a bunch of new studios. I think it was 4.
5. No, they created one and then they bought 4.
Yeah, so which means they're going to be creating games. And one of the people they got was the people that make Forza games. And they're going to be working on an open world, not racing game. And I have already seen what they've done with their open world games. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine what they could do with like a different kind of game, and I think it would be great. So I'm excited for what is going to come. I was just hoping to see maybe a little bit more, but other than that, they showed tons of games. Obviously, they're going to play better on the Xbox One X than any other platform right now until the new ones come out, besides PC. Unless you don't spend a lot of money on a PC and a good monitor, because I have a 4K TV, so I'm going to be able to play prettier games on my Xbox One X than my PC. But so that was exciting to me. It was cool to see that. I'm excited that a new Halo is eventually going to come out. I wish there was a little bit more news there, but it did look cool. And I know they're gonna bring back like split screen and local play because people were livid. The Halo 5 didn't have that, so I know they're gonna bring that back, and that's part of the reason it's taking so long to make. And I'm good at that.
And it's Master Chief.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a Master Chief focused game again, and I'm excited for that because I like Halo.
Here's a question. Did we hear anything about the Star Fox Grand Prix thing?
Nope, nothing ever came of that.
Okay, well, I hope nothing ever will.
That sounds bad.
It sounds so bad.
But yeah, so those are the things you wanted from E3.
And also with Nintendo, it's cool to see that Mario Party's going to come out. I know because my wife loves those games, and they're fun, and that'd be a great party game for us to play anyways on
and
the
we
channel.
are going to play it because I'm going to buy it.
And I'm going to buy it too.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And also Super Smash Brothers. This will be the first one I've ever purchased. I've played many of them, but this will be the first one I've purchased, and it's going to be fun. And we'll also do Let's Plays there. And also, I'm really excited for it because Ryan gets to see Snake's butt. It's not going to be as great as it was before, but I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I call back to the episode I wasn't
Knew you were going to reference.
We know we can beat Ryan if he plays Snake because he'll be distracted.
Like, man, I can't believe they did that. It's just so much smaller. But other than that, that's it. That's all I got for that. So, did anyone else have any gaming news?
I was just gonna say,
I did.
He has no rebuttal. I mean, he has nothing to say.
Rebuttal.
Rebuttal.
I didn't even know I made that joke until now. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna go myself.
Oh, that's
Don't say that. That's not.
Let's bleep that.
I'm going to...
What help you seem less stressed? All right, what was your other gaming news, Nick?
My dad's going to talk to me about this podcast.
I hope he watches.
Oh, he does.
Hi, Dad. Nick's dad.
Anyway, so the gaming news I had, it's pretty small. So Mario... What's so funny?
He's still on the butt thing because he said
Continue.
I'm just gonna talk. Just ignore
That's a good idea.
So Mario Tennis Aces came out today for the Nintendo Switch. What are you doing?
Just looking at my phone.
Anyways,
Updating what we're going to talk about.
So yeah, Mario Tennis Aces came out for the Nintendo Switch today. I haven't bought it yet because I was gonna buy it today, but then I bought a TV. But now I want to refund the TV because I want to get a different TV.
Buyer's remorse immediately.
Well, it's because I have to wait 5 days for the TV to come in. I'm like, no. I don't
First world problems.
Well, yeah, but but it's the weekend and I want to enjoy my TV on the weekend.
I get it. When I got my TV, I took it home that day.
Yeah, I want to take it home. So, but I was going to buy Mario Tennis, but I didn't. But I'm going to buy it tomorrow. So, but the thing I want to talk about was apparently in the Mario Tennis game, there is no way to play a normal game of tennis. Like, you can't set the rules to like the normal amount of matches and the normal amount of sets or whatever. I don't know what a normal game of tennis is like, but like.
Well, you can go up to like, you know.
I mean, they're
6-6.
technically
But whatever the normal template is for tennis, like you can't do it in Mario Tennis Aces. You can only do like one set with 2 games or something, and that's it.
Well, but it's not trying to be tennis, is it?
I mean, it's still a tennis game.
I think I mean, I understand it a little bit in the sense that, well, were the other Mario Tennis able to do
like
that?
I have the
Okay.
N64 Mario Tennis on my Wii U, and it has, you can do up to like 6 sets if you want. Or something like
See,
that.
the thing is, like, for example, like Madden, you're not playing 15-minute quarters.
Well, no.
Because you just, that's like just so long.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just wondering if they just shorten it just so you can get through more
Maybe
rounds
it's
faster.
from more I guess because the online mode is where the like short sets and the short matches originated.
Them filthy casuals.
And I guess they just wanted to make it feel more competitive. I'm not sure, but there are actually a lot of people that are upset about it, and they want to be able to play a normal like set of tennis. And I don't blame them. I think they should add it in because according to other people, the single player mode is actually not that great because there's like a story mode, and apparently the boss matches are pretty cool, but like the story itself isn't good. And apparently you can only play as Mario. You can't choose your character for the story mode. And it's like,
To be honest, this was not a game I was interested in, and now I'm even less interested.
Exactly.
There's
a lot
not
of
a
people
story mode for Waluigi.
Nope. I mean, you can play as him, but not in the story mode. But yeah, a lot of people have been like canceling their pre-orders, and they're like, well, I have no interest in this game anymore because they're not going to let me play a normal game of tennis. And you can't. I think you can play doubles locally, but I'm not sure if you can play doubles online. I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that, but like people just aren't happy with it. I'm still getting the game though because I really enjoyed the demo and I really want to play online. And I just want to play the game. It's a good game to play with friends, and I hope maybe we'll play it sometime as a let's play. Possibly. I know you won't buy it, but I'll just bring my Switch. And
Just as long as it's free, I don't care. I'll play.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's just a small little bit of gaming news. Mario Tennis is out. It's but I'm getting it.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, kind of piggybacking off of the E3 idea is this topic is going to be about games and are our expectations too high for games? Like, when we hear about them, or just in general for what we're expecting the future of gaming to be, do we think that gamers and our own expectations might be too high?
No, we give them too much slack.
All right.
Ryan has spoken. That's all.
Bye guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.
Please subscribe.
I was
but
just kidding.
I think we do. I think obviously there are times where they do it to themselves, where they create such a high expectation for us that it's almost inevitable that we're going to think that because they make us, even though we should know by now. We've been burnt so many times with so many different games. We should know that what they're showing us, no way is going to be exactly what it's going to be. No way. But we
Have you
always
seen the McDonald's commercial?
Yeah, there you go. So, like, obviously, I think part of that is definitely the fault of companies, but I also think that sometimes it is our fault. I think some games don't claim to be more than they're going to be. People just really want them to be that and expect them to be that. And it's maybe a smaller developer, and we want so much, especially with this world we have today where so many good games do come out, that we expect so much from everyone that we're very disappointed if it's a smaller kind of game. What do you guys think?
So it's interesting. I took a hiatus from video games for a couple of years in high school and through college. And when I came back, essentially I had no expectations. I had played the original Call of Duty Finest Hour on PlayStation 2. And then years later, when I played Call of Duty Ghosts, which is apparently one of the worst Call of Duties out there, I was having a really fun time. And I'm wondering if part of it's because I had left. I didn't bring expectations with me after all those years, and I just hadn't. I was playing some video games. I played Super Smash all the time, but that's just so much different. That's not like in the thick.
And you know what to expect. Yeah, every time you get a Super Smash Bros. Game.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's interesting. The same thing happened with Overwatch. I was very, very impressed with Overwatch and with League of Legends. And now that's the standard.
Yeah.
So for me, I kind of had the sweet spot where I could be impressed by all these new video games, again, and it was great. And I think for us as kids, that happens as well, because when we're younger, everything is new. And so when you experience, something for the first time and it's good, you really enjoy it. So it's probably the sad reality that those who like video games the most maybe don't get to enjoy them as much as people who don't play as often.
But is that self-inflicted?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say self-inflicted. I would say it's just natural.
Just causality.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I agree with you, because as a kid, I would get games, and I would be like, yeah, because I wouldn't get that many games. Like, I got a game called Frontline Fields of War, which probably none of you have even heard of.
Nope.
And I remember playing it. I had so much fun. I'd play like levels over and over again, because I didn't have a lot to go back to, and I really had a good time with it. And I remember my dad being like, wow, like that sky and like the graphics look so good. You go back now, I mean, it's a 360 game. Doesn't look that great. It did have some really cool stuff, like where sound was accurate. Like if something was shot really far away, you would hear it seconds later. And that was pretty innovative for the time. Probably most games do that now. But like I remember having so much fun with that game. And now like really good games come out and I'm just not as impressed, because I think I follow games too much. And too much might be just, I don't know if that's the truth, but I think I just follow games so much more. And I know so much more about what's going on that I'm just jaded, and it's too saturated. I've been oversaturated.
I think that's kind of a problem that we're dealing with in a lot of different aspects, like in movies too. Because like you had to go out of your way to avoid anything about Avengers Infinity War. Because they were coming on Facebook, there was like article after article after article about like some of the actors, some of the people that other people wouldn't have expected to see in Infinity War, or like because they saw actors on set, or like just because there's so much communication in the world now, it kind of takes away from that surprise, which I think, and I mean, yeah, most kids are impressed by anything, but I mean, I'm sure it helped that they had no expectations. They didn't know what was coming going in either.
And I did enjoy Infinity War a lot more because of that, because I watched one trailer, the very first one, and I think I turned it off halfway through. And I love trailers, but I refused to watch any more trailers. I refused to read anything about it, and I went in, and it was not what I was expecting.
So yeah, obviously that's not going to happen with everything, but I'm sure that really helped you, because you didn't form any expectations. I saw all the trailers and everything, and I still liked Infinity War too, but at the same, I didn't really.
Sorry, the cat's doing weird stuff.
Thanks all.
We're going to just take a moment to enjoy this.
As long as she's not eating forwards, it's fine.
Yeah, don't do that. Oh.
But, I didn't really have any expectations for Infinity War other than, I mean, it's Marvel, so I just assumed it was going to be good. And so, I mean, and it was good. I mean, now that I've gone back and seen it, now that I've seen it, and I haven't seen it again, I want to.
I want to. Yeah, me too. Let's go. Right now, let's go.
Hi guys. I want to now I've kind of overanalyzed some of the places. Like, spoiler alert: if anyone hasn't seen Infinity War,
it's your fault.
Now. It's your fault.
I'll be shaking my hands as he's spoiling it, and I'll stop when he's done.
But like, you know how Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, they kind of forgot how to use some of their powers. I think because when they're fighting Thanos on Titan, he could. early in the movie, he used his portal to cut off the hand of one of the minions, or one of his minions, and stop it. That's distracting.
I have to now.
You're saying
Like-
why didn't he do it with the gauntlet arm?
Yeah, or like, and I was talking with a coworker of mine and Keefin's
I've done this to myself, and now I can't stop.
about just basic communication. Why couldn't Doctor Strange have just told them what needed to be done instead
Well, I think
of,
that would have ruined it.
Yeah, I was just about to say those are the theories. Is that he knows what has to happen, and if he knew that if he told them for whatever reason that would change something.
Yeah, because they would be expecting it, and they might try to make decisions that would cause it, and they would mess it up.
I'll give you that point, but still, in most movies, if there was even a speck of good communication, it would stop a lot of the problems that most of these movies have. But then I guess I'll defeat the purpose of having a movie in the first place.
That's fair. But let's move back to games.
Yeah, so wait, what does
let's stop
what does this have to do with
Avengers
games?
spoilers.
Oh, right, you're right. We were talking about games because, I mean, I think that's why people don't enjoy the games when they come out as much, because there's so much communication, and they know everything that's coming before it actually gets there.
They know the better version of it.
Yeah, like, well, and they come up with this image in their head as to what they've already been told it is, and then plus they're like, oh, plus if they've told us this much, how much haven't they told us? And then like their expectations go way up, and then they get the game, and then they're super disappointed, and then start screaming online like a bunch of nubs.
Ryan, that's a good point, because
That's a really good point.
What that reminded me of is when I first played Kingdom Hearts. I knew it was Disney and Final Fantasy. I watched, plenty of trailers, and but despite the trailers that they were showing, there was still so much that was in there that I wasn't expecting, and it was great. So they fulfilled on that. But now, with Kingdom Hearts 3, with all the different message boards and groups I'm a part of, I'm getting too much information, even now. And I'm after hearing that, I'm starting to wonder if I just want to unfollow all of that stuff until I get the game. And so I'm not, I'm not tipped off. For one thing is that you know how it was always like Disney and Final Fantasy, but like a little more heavy Disney. Mm-hmm. There's essentially going to be no Final Fantasy in this. In Kingdom Hearts 3. And
That makes me sad.
It makes me sad too, because that was part of the whole shtick about it. And I'm wondering, I mean, after Kingdom Hearts 2 had Final Fantasy in it. It didn't play a part in the storyline like it did in Kingdom Hearts 1. And now they're just kind of like going away from it. And I am now, after not having played it, I'm already disappointed, and I wish I hadn't heard that communication at the time. Would I be disappointed if I get the game and then I'm like, wait, where's all the Final Fantasy characters? I don't know, but the point is, it's already set me up for something. Like I've already been given information that makes me think about it in a way that I don't want to think about it, and so yeah, it's a problem.
TMI.
Yep,
It's a problem.
So I have to agree with everything that's been said, and I was going to kind of bring up a point similar to that. Just how we live in a culture now where everything's instant, right? We get instant news, we get instant texts, we get instant even video, we can get instant everything. And I follow gaming a lot. I go on Reddit a lot. I go on news websites a lot. And one culture that's kind of evolved this generation, especially, is the Metacritic culture. So there's a website called Metacritic. Yep. And it's a video. I don't know if they do more than video games, but I just go on there for video. I think they might. I think
it does movies as well, but it's mostly known for video.
Mostly known for video games, and they have what they do is they have something called a Metascore, which is like a culmination of all the critics and what they rated the game. And it's
user
like
and
average.
critics.
User and critics. There's different ones, and I think this generation has created this Metacritic culture where if this game does not have a certain rating on Metacritic, it's garbage. If this game is lower than like 80, it's garbage. To some people, if it's lower than 80, it's garbage. Like if it gets a 70, it's a garbage game. And I'm like, huh? Because this is out of 10. I mean, they do it by 100, so it's like 70 out of 100, but like it's out of 10. Like 7 out of 10. How's that a garbage score? That's probably that's an
C's
above
get degrees.
But that's an above average score, honestly. I mean, I would consider average to be a 5, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has their different way of viewing, the meta score, but this culture has evolved to like if your console's game, like especially with exclusives, like people become toxic about it. Like PlayStation exclusives are better and Xbox has none of them. And like, there's truth to that, but the reason I gave my Xbox, or not gave it, the reason I sold my Xbox to Tanner is because I realized...
Your PS4.
PS4.
Did I say Xbox?
You did.
Yes.
The reason I sold my PS4 to Tanner was because I just realized I don't care about the PlayStation exclusives. I didn't grow up playing PlayStation, I grew up on Xbox and Nintendo and PC. Like, I don't care about PlayStation exclusives. And, they're highly rated, but like, just because The Last of Us has a 90 on Metacritic, it doesn't mean I don't enjoy Mario Tennis Aces, which has a 78 on Metacritic right now, And
Or that you'll have more fun.
Or that I'll have more fun, because fun is subjective, right?
Yep.
And so this website and other websites in general has just created this culture where like, oh, well, this game didn't meet my expectations. It got a 7 out of 10. I'm not going to play it. Or, wow, this game's a 9 out of 10, so I have to play it. I have to buy a PlayStation just for this game. And I fell for it. I fell for that's not a scam.
I've done it too.
I fell for it. I was like, wow, The Last of Us, this is a highly rated game. Wow, the PlayStation's getting all these highly rated games. And then I played them and I'm like, I don't really care about these games. They're not my thing. And then I realized something, like, your taste in games is your taste in games, You don't have to like what everybody else likes.
Like Skyrim.
Yeah.
No, you do. There's certain games where that's not applicable.
But how I'm bringing that into expectations is that everyone now has these expectations that every game that comes out is going to be perfect for them, you know? And it doesn't matter what genre, it doesn't matter what exclusive it is to console, or if it's a PC exclusive. And, I've talked a lot of crap about Sea of Thieves on this podcast. But I will say this. This is a good example of what I mean. Because I talked a lot of crap about Sea of Thieves, but, like, maybe it just isn't my kind of game. And maybe Ryan and Keefin love that game. And they do.
It's a fun game.
It's a fun game. And maybe it's just not my kind of game. Maybe it's a 6 out of 10 for me, but to them it's a 9 out of 10. I mean...
But what about with that new trailer and new content?
New content. Well, I was going to say now, now that the game is starting to come out with content, I'm a little more interested, because I wasn't interested in the sandbox, just mess around as a pirate. I was interested in like kind of story content in a way. Mm-hmm. And now that that's coming, I'm more interested, because that's just my kind of game. So I think everyone has these expectations where like every game that comes out is going to be for them. Like, oh, the next Call of Duty is coming out. It's going to have this and this and this and this and this, which I liked from this game and this game and that game. And then it's like, well, we're only going to do this for this Call of Duty. What the heck? This isn't what I wanted. And I think that's the problem. And I think E3 is the biggest,
purveyor of it.
Because I watched, so I'm going to talk about the Nintendo conference for a few minutes. Mm-hmm. So we talked about this last week, but I'll kind of talk to Keefin a little bit about it. So a lot of people were disappointed in the Nintendo conference, basically saying they spent way too long on Smash. So it was a 40-minute conference and they spent 25 minutes on Smash. I agree that they spent too long on Smash. But people are saying like, oh, the Switch has no games coming out this year. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, there's plenty of games coming out on the Switch this year. I'm getting Mario Tennis tomorrow. A week after that, Crash Bandicoot, the remakes, are coming to the Switch, and I'm probably going to get that at some point. And then there's that Octopath Traveler game that's coming out. And then in August, we got Overcooked 2's coming out.
And it looks good. I saw some gameplay.
It looks really good.
I'm excited.
Super Mario Party comes out in October.
Those are a lot of games.
And
it's
then
like a ton of games.
And then
Super
there's
Smash.
And Smash comes out in December. And there's even more. So there's this game called
Pokemon Let's
Starlink.
Go.
At Pokemon Let's Go. But there's this game called Starlink. It's coming out to all platforms, but it's kind of like a Star Fox game. But did you guys play Rogue Squadron?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that mixed with like different mechanics. But on the Switch version, there's exclusive Star Fox content, and you can play the whole game as Star Fox. And like,
and you forgot Star Fox Racer as well.
Yeah,
Star Fox Grand Prix.
Yeah, which didn't happen. But maybe the Star Fox reveal for the Starlink game is what they meant. But like, there's and Dragon Ball FighterZ is coming to the Switch in September. Wolfenstein 2 comes out to the Switch next week.
Well, I think people might just mean exclusive.
Yeah, exclusives.
But even then, they still have
Mario Party, Smash, Octopath Traveler, Mario Tennis.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, well, it's not my kind of game. Well, I'm like, But you have Breath of the Wild, you got Mario Odyssey and Xenoblade that all came out last year. Like, if those are your games, then you can play those games, you know? People had... I do agree that the Nintendo conference was a little disappointing. I wish there had been a couple more exclusives announced, but, you know, there's still plenty of games to play on your Switch. I feel like another part of the high expectation culture is people are playing too many games, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I think I'm kind of a culprit there because I play a lot of games. I find myself like, well, crap, I beat this game. Well, now I need to go buy 2 more games because I have all these games to play. But I need to slow down and realize I need to take my time with these games before I buy more and just enjoy them.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, well, since I want to have everything, it's instant gratification culture. I got to have this game, even though I haven't beat this game, and I have to get this console for it. And I think that's another reason that people's expectations are too high. But yeah, I kind of went on a rant there, but those are
good points.
Yeah.
Good points.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep expectations low to minimum, like I had never played. I mean, I had played an Elder Scrolls game before Skyrim, but
I played the crap out of Oblivion.
I didn't play Oblivion as much as I've played Skyrim. Like, I think I don't remember how many hours I've played on Skyrim, but I'd probably be embarrassed to read the number.
You would be,
because it was such a good game. I could go back to it time and again, and I have fun every single time.
And I downloaded modded story content so that I can play more.
Yeah, there's so much to do in that game.
Yeah, it's good.
Some games
maybe
just get
someday,
it right.
Ryan.
Some games just get it.
But it was a great game for you because you didn't have But even for me, it was because Oblivion. Bethesda takes forever to come out with games usually, except for Fallout 76. So it's kind of quick for another Fallout game. But generally, especially with Elder Scrolls, it takes them a while. So there's definitely big leaps and improvements. Yeah. And then they allow modding, so then people can put whatever they want in there. So, but I do think people have high expectations. I think a lot of people are. They had so many expectations for the next Fallout game that people were disappointed with Fallout 76's presentation. And I think people are just so expectant on the perfect game, like you said, for them. And if it isn't what they want, they'll even go to Metacritic, and if it has a great score, they'll think it's too high, and they'll give it a 0. Like Breath of the Wild, like any major release that got really good ratings, they're like, we need to even this out because this is obviously inaccurate.
That's so petty.
And then they'll give it a 0 because it's just because it didn't meet the expectations for them.
So ridiculous.
But not even just console wars, just internal conflict.
Wars. Yeah,
within their own console.
People can't handle a game doing well because they don't like the game. Yeah, I don't like Sea of Thieves that much, but I'm not like, I can't believe this game sold 4 million copies or whatever.
And you don't go to Metacritic and give it a 0.
No. If people like the game, they like the game.
So kind of going off of that, and this is kind of going to switch a little bit. Obviously, we're not developers. We have no idea what it takes to go into a game, which makes it even harder for us to judge because all we do is get the fun output. We don't see all the blood, sweat, and tears that go into making those games. But let's pretend for a moment that we had to create each of our own perfect game. What would you want to see in your perfect game?
So are we going to do realistic or unrealistic?
Let's do realistic, and then we'll hit unrealistic.
Okay. I don't want to go first this time.
All right, I'll go first. So I think with a realistic expectation, I would like to see a game kind of like Grand Theft Auto, which is funny because I've never actually played a Grand Theft Auto game, but I've seen enough of it, and it's open world. There's tons to do. They get so much content all the time, and you can just do so much in that game. You can do races, you can do fighting, you can do crazy slasher games.
You can go skydiving.
I saw a mod where you could be Goku.
Yeah, they have they have so many it's just pretty all encompassing in a lot of ways. And something I would like to see is something like that, but with more choices that affect the world. So a lot of games claim to have those, if you make this choice, it's going to give a branching path, which is going to make this different. And a lot don't really execute very well because it all kind of leads to the same path anyways. But I would like to see a game kind of like Grand Theft Auto with a lot to do, but with maybe the story mode and some of the multiplayer in a way, with those branching paths where the decision you make affect the world that you now inhabit, permanently in different ways. I think that would be a cool thing to see, and I think that's decently realistic. Maybe it wouldn't be super huge. Maybe there'd only be 3 or 4 branches because that is difficult to do. But I would like to see a huge game like that with pretty solid differences with what you decided to do.
Are you done?
Yeah, that's my realistic
one. I don't know how realistic this is, so I'm just gonna use this for both of them.
Okay.
So a game kind of like a combination of Skyrim, World of Warcraft, and Sea of Thieves.
Whoa, you piqued my interest.
So like the way I was thinking, it would still have like it would have that kind of open world and all the questing stuff like Skyrim does, but it also has like the traveling aspect that Sea of Thieves has, and then it has like the leveling system more similar to WoW because like in Skyrim to level up you just have to use a weapon a billion times and then you
Or
level, or spell a billion times and then it levels that up. But I mean that's kind of how it is in vanilla WoW, like in the first one. Like you have to level up your weapons, and now they changed that so you don't have to level up your weapons, which I was glad and sad at the same time because like it was kind of cool because then you could have specialized weapons instead of just being able to use whatever
they gave you.
But so yeah, have that change, have that level up system change a little bit, but give you the option to travel further, travel in the ocean. And like use your mounts because a little differently because in WoW like it's pretty much just like driving a car, like it just goes wherever you want and but it's like it feels almost like almost mechanic, like it doesn't feel like you're riding an actual animal.
So you'd want it to just feel more like fluid, like Sea of Thieves, like fun to do.
Yeah, like or like
interesting concept,
or like realistic, like like when you hit a storm in Sea of Thieves, or like and if you're on a mount or on a flying mount and you hit a storm and it actually gets harder to navigate and control through. I mean, the only way it's difficult to navigate your mount in WoW is if you're drunk.
Which you can do in Sea of Thieves as well.
Yes, you can do it in Sea of Thieves.
And boy, do I do it every single time.
It throws up on me every single time.
Oh, man.
But yeah,
that's an
that's
interesting idea.
Yeah, that's kind of what would be my game.
Okay, so I have two realistic dream games, I guess. So the first one's a Star Wars game. Now, I don't know. I've never played Knights of the Old Republic, the original, but I heard it's like one of the best Star Wars games ever made.
It's good.
Because I think it's an RPG, right?
It is.
Yeah, but I don't know. I played a Knights of the Old Republic game. I didn't really like the style because I was...
When did you play?
Were you used to Jedi Knight Jedi Academy?
Yeah, I was used to the Jedi Knight series and the Jedi Knight Academy. I mean...
But when did you play it? Did you play it when it came out or did you play it recently?
Well, I played it a few years ago.
Because it might not hold up. We can test that later, though.
Yeah.
Putting nostalgia to the test.
No, but yeah, I was disappointed because I was expecting... Because most of the Star Wars games I had played gave you a little more control over your lightsaber.
Did you play Force Unleashed?
No.
Oh my gosh, you were so stupidly overpowered in that game.
It's pretty fun.
It is fun.
The first one, I
But,
never
like-
played the second.
But yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
but so
yeah,
you
like,
want like a really good Star Wars.
I want another good Star Wars RPG. I don't know what Knights of the Old Republic was like, so I can't really compare. I know we bring up Skyrim like every time, but like
It's the game.
it's like it's a classic RPG, you know. I want a Jedi or not Jedi. I want a Star Wars game where I can pick and I can pick from like I could be a commando in the Clone Wars, or I could be a commando, or I could be
Back to that, being that full circle.
I could be, or it could go to classic. We could go to the Galactic Civil War. I could be a rebel soldier in Empire, but like,
But you get to choose.
But I get to choose my
Interesting.
path. I get to tell my story. I get to increase my skills.
So an open
I never
world
knew I
game.
wanted that game until just now. That sounds awesome.
I want, and
That does sound awesome.
I'm sure Knights of the Old Republic is similar to that, but it probably not to the scope of what they could do in 2018. Like a game like that where I can choose my path in the Star Wars world, and it's just, and I don't want it to be online because then they're going to throw in microtransaction bull crap and blah blah blah. I just want, like Skyrim, an open world, choose your own adventure.
What about with
Single player.
co-op?
Okay, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. But that'd be cool. Like
Skyrim co-op would be cool too.
you guys could start a
Bethesda.
character. Like you guys could
Well, I mean, they tried it.
maybe
with
kind of like
Elder Scrolls
Minecraft, where you
Online.
guys create your own like private server and you level your characters together. Oh my gosh, I want this game. EA, why? EA. But that's
So that's your first one.
that's my first one. My second one, so Assassin's Creed. We've all played at least one of them, right?
Yes.
I've never finished one, but yeah, I did.
I've never finished one either, but I've
I
played
have.
one. So how many of you here have played the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time? So you're the only person that has.
Wow, you haven't?
No, the only one I've played is Breath of the Wild.
Oh, okay. No.
Wow.
So you probably don't know the gist of. You probably don't know the story of Ocarina of Time that much. Then?
Oh, I've heard stuff. My best Zach.
So,
loves those
I'll just talk about it first. So you guys know how Link gets trapped in the Temple of Time for 7 years because he was too young to wield the Master Sword.
Yeah.
So I want a game.
I was taller than him.
Yeah. So I want a game where you play as Sheik during that 7-year period that Link is sealed.
Okay, who is Sheik?
Sheik is so Zelda goes.
Spoiler alert!
Oh my god! This game came out in 1998.
That's true.
Get over it. So Zelda in the Ocarina of Time assumes a disguise known as Sheik, so that she's so that Ganon can't find her. The Sheikah tribe is the tribe that in Breath of the Wild, the Sheikah tribe, they're the ones that defend Zelda. They're the protectors of the royal family.
Like, you know how in Super Smash.
Well, I know that, but doesn't mean I understand exactly how Sheik fits into the world.
But yeah, so that's how Sheik. So Sheik is Zelda. That's how she fits into the world. And when you're adult Link in the game, she comes to you before each dungeon and gives you some cryptic stuff and
Usually
tells
gives you
you
a new
about
song.
and then gives you a new song to play. But I want a game where while Link is sealed in the temple, you play as Sheik, like an Assassin's Creed style, where you're sneaking through places in Hyrule, trying to hide from Ganon and trying to gain intel and
So you go through those 7 years, so you would start out as young Zelda, you did as young Link.
Yes, you started
That would
as
be
young
cool.
Zelda, and then in the middle of the game you're teenage Zelda, and then by the end you're
with
adult
Breath of the
Zelda.
Wild mechanics too, that could be really
With
good.
Breath of the Wild mechanics. This game
Yeah, good ideas, man. The Star
would
Wars
be
and that one.
I should be a developer.
Yeah.
Hire me right now, as long as you're not EA.
Aren't you studying computer science?
Yeah,
Just make it happen.
Yeah.
They make games for us to play.
yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
But those are my realistic games, and I don't know how realistic. I think the Star Wars one
I feel
is
like
very.
this seems pretty realistic.
Yeah.
Both of them do.
I think the Star Wars one especially seems really realistic to me. The Zelda one, I mean, Nintendo doesn't really make games like that, but I would love, because you know how they collaborated with Ubisoft to make Mario Rabbids?
Which people loved.
And Ubisoft makes the Assassin's Creed series. And Shigeru Miyamoto, which is the guy behind the Mario and a couple other series, he on stage when they announced the Mario Rabbids game talked about maybe we could do a Donkey Kong Assassin's Creed style game, and he was joking about it. And I'm like, no, screw that. Do a Zelda Assassin's Creed game where you play as Sheik when Link was sealed away in the Temple of Time for 7 years. That game would be the best game I've ever played. By far. I would be so hyped for that game, more hyped than any other game in my life.
Wow.
So those are my ideas for my perfect games.
Good
What about
ideas.
you, Teener?
Well, I think I have an idea that just beats both of those. I want a turn-based MOBA. No, I'm just kidding.
A turn-based MOBA? So kind of like a real-time strategy, but with turn-based combat.
I don't want that at all.
I don't want to play that at all.
Okay.
Age of Empires VR.
So I guess
I find you one.
Age of Empires.
but you still just are looking at them and just selecting.
Oh yeah, exactly the same.
It's exactly the same, but it's in VR.
Same graphics too. I don't want any upgrade.
Oh,
Anyway.
that's
I
good.
play that game too much. Not the VR version, obviously. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Anyway, okay, so realistic games. We talked about this before. I want the good Pokemon RPG we've talked about.
Oh yeah, that's
I want
Gotcha.
that. Is it my idea of a perfect game? I don't know. I don't know what I think a perfect game might be, but I know I would want that one.
Okay.
Isn't that
that's
kind
fair.
of what they're working on?
Well, we don't really know.
We'll see.
We'll see. They're working on a regular Pokemon RPG, but
But with
And I don't want any of. I'd want an open world. Obviously, I don't want any microtransaction crap in it. I don't want any of that.
What about co-op?
Yeah, I would want co-op. I would.
Just throw
I would
co-op
love
at everything.
co-op with that. And I love co-op. I think some of the best co-op games I've played were the original the Lord of the Rings games on PlayStation 2.
right, yeah.
And
The
you-
Two Towers, way fun.
Two Towers. Yeah, super awesome. So I mean, I guess I would throw that one in. But what I think I want in a game, or
And you can do your unrealistic one right now too.
Okay,
since
yeah.
we're kind of got to go full circle. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll transition in that. Unrealistic. I want. Okay, so like I love the gameplay of Overwatch. I want a story mode. Now I'm not saying it has to be a story mode Overwatch, but that's what I'd like. Where sure you can have the multiplayer thing and have that, and it would be great. But then also have a story mode where it's similar gameplay, but you can also do co-op and stuff like that. But I what I need is an immersive storyline, kind of like what Kingdom Hearts had. And you know, I always bring that up. But you know what was very immersive was Ratchet and Clank. Those storylines were pretty immersive to me for some reason. Did you guys play them?
Nope. No, I never played
I think
one.
I played Ratchet and
Remember,
Clank
I didn't
for
grow up
10
on
minutes.
PlayStation.
Okay, so I'm pretty much the only one.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank just had this
There's
It's
a
like-
movie, isn't there?
Yeah, with the new one.
and I never saw it. I have no idea if it's good or not. But
Apparently, it wasn't that good.
nah.
Video
Well,
game movies usually never are.
Well, so it was great. It just had this nonchalant way of telling a good story, but having like good open world thing at the same time. Whereas like you know Skyrim, it as much as I know, I mean it has a storyline. You can follow the storyline.
Sometimes I just get so distracted,
It is very easy to get distracted.
but you can.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank had this really cool way of being linear, but also not. You could still jump around from planet to planet doing what you got to do, but in the end, you had to work it into something. And so, I mean,
in Skyrim, you can finish the main storyline and then you can still do all the rest of the stuff. Just
Yeah.
finishing the main storyline doesn't stop you from being able to.
So you're saying like an Overwatch game like that though,
yeah.
with
yeah.
like an immersive where you can kind of explore, but it also is linear. Like it tells you the story and it tells you a good immersive story.
You know what's really depressing? You almost got that. So in the heydays when World of Warcraft was like insanely massive and popular, I mean it still is, but not really as much as it used to be. Blizzard announced something called Project Titan.
Oh yeah,
And
I heard about
for years they wouldn't say anything about it until Overwatch came out. Until they came out and said that Overwatch was the scrapped version of
oh my gosh,
Project
that is
Titan.
so true.
Really?
So they released some concept art of Project Titan, which showed Tracer, but there was a male and a female Tracer because they were originally going to be selectable characters as like the class that you wanted to be.
Okay.
And so it was going to be like a kind of MMO kind of deal, kind of like WoW, but with like the Overwatch world. So you almost got that in a sense, but you didn't. You got Overwatch instead.
Okay.
So that's what you still want it. You're holding on to the dream.
So, okay, yeah, okay. But last unrealistic game, yeah, this is unrealistic, at least for now. I want a Sword Art Online game.
Well, there are Sword Art Online.
No, I want
Oh, you want
that.
You
Sword
want
Art
where you
Online.
die
I
and
don't want
die,
that.
Sword Art
I
Online.
don't know what
It's an
exactly.
anime.
I know that. I just don't know what that would be.
So, you know,
What game
you,
would that
you
be?
basically, you know, you are in the RPG world.
It's a generic medieval RPG, but like you're in it. If you die in the game, you die in
Okay,
real
but
life.
not that either. I don't want that.
No,
So it's like
honestly-
what's that movie that just
but-
came out that I didn't watch that I should have watched?
Ready Player One.
That's the one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. But yeah,
I
but
haven't
like,
seen it either. But not. I mean,
So you want real VR? Like
Yeah.
where you're really
I
like
want
your
to be
brain's
in it.
tricked into thinking you're in this.
I want to be
Yeah.
wielding a broadsword
I would love
and
that.
attacking
Love it.
enemies. Love
That's
it.
what I want.
Absolute, unrealistic, perfect game. That is it for me. And you know, even if it was Skyrim, everything Skyrim, but we got to be in it. Yes, I would play Skyrim at that point.
Look at that. That's all it takes.
Yeah, that's all it
I mean,
takes.
I think a lot of people would want that. It's totally never going to happen, but a lot of people would want that.
Yeah.
I mean, if we are close to that technology, I think it'll be a while before we get games like that.
If we're 80 years old,
So
we'll do it.
good way to go out.
You're gonna be young again.
I'll so with my unrealistic expectation, it would be in a way kind of what you said. So it would be an immersive VR, but real, like your brain thinks it's there.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be a game where you could pretty much do whatever you wanted, almost like a world simulator. but you could do anything. Like if you wanted to go to a scientist and have him open up a portal to go to World War II and fight there, you could do it.
Whoa.
If you wanted to go into the future or the past with dinosaurs, you could fight dinosaurs. Or if you just wanted to be a teacher for some reason, you could do that. Like basically like almost like a real world simulator where you could live out whatever fantasy you want to do. And you could live out multiple fantasies.
That could be very
If you
dangerous.
want to be a tech company data entry intern,
You can do it. Like
A
obviously,
garbage collector. That
I mean, obviously, yeah. There's gonna be things but like that's video games anyways. There's gonna be things that people are gonna do. But I think that would be cool because you could just you want to be a fighter pilot, you can go and do that.
A real yandere simulator.
Like, you what did you say?
we talked about this last week.
What did you say?
a real yandere simulator.
He's like,
You know what that is?
No, I have no idea. That's why I said I'm lost.
That was a good one.
What's the Yandere?
Don't tell him.
I feel like I listened to it in the podcast, but I don't actually remember what that is.
it's a girl that is really obsessed and stalkerish towards you. That
Like
she would literally
love sick and
love
she'll
sex.
do it.
She would literally
she'll
do
do-
anything for you.
But I mean, that could happen in this game.
Yep.
Because I would want, going to the unrealistic, really, really freaking smart AI. And going kind of what I said with the GTA thing, where I would like a game like that, but with like branching, like what you do in that game will affect the game. You become president, you make some crazy choice, it's going to affect how the game is. You're like nuclear war, all of a sudden you're playing Fallout essentially. Like I want it to be like a super crazy world where you can do whatever you want, but while you're doing that, you're actually causing real world like ripples to affect the world, and I think that would be awesome. And I don't want it where you can play it with your friends.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be cool. Like imagine with like you're out with like 4 of your friends or something,
You would
and
have
you're
to draw several lines.
Thank you, Ryan. Always going to the dark places for some reason. But like I think that would be awesome. Just like you could just do everything. And of course, that would kind of be an be all end all game essentially, because you could pretty much do whatever you wanted. But
You'd be like, I want. You're describing a holodeck.
sure.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
no,
Kind of. I mean, it sounds familiar.
Wow, I'm gonna sound so much nerdier than you
Yu-Gi-Oh.
guys. No, a holodeck is from Star Trek.
Oh, you're right.
oh,
Basically, where it's just this room, you go in and be like, I want whatever, and it creates the world for you.
Or like the training simulators in Justice League.
Yeah.
Nope, not those.
also another show I don't watch.
So, anyways, that would be my unrealistic game that I've wanted for some time, and it definitely, I mean, that would, who knows how many terabytes or petabytes or whatever it would be at that point. But I think that would be awesome and it'd be fun to do, and that would be like my unrealistic game.
Nice.
Oh, you already mentioned yours, kind
Yeah.
of. So what about you, Nick?
My unrealistic game, huh? Man,
Wait, Ryan's was Yandere Simulator?
No, he kind of put them together.
Yeah, because I'm not sure how realistic it would be to mash
Well, those
Sea
3
of
games.
Thieves.
Oh, gotcha. Right.
So that was kind of one
think-
thing.
okay, this is gonna be a weird idea, but Legend of Zelda again, but it's
Surprise.
like The Sims.
I need to play a Sims game. They really intrigue me, and I want to play.
Never
one.
played The Sims?
I've really
never played it either.
and I really want to. Like, it
How in
fascinates
the
me.
world have you two never played The Sims?
How would I have?
I have it on my Steam.
So easily is how you would
I
have.
have it on Steam too. Well, we're doing a Let's Play, and you guys are gonna play The
Oh
Sims.
my gosh. The reason why I can't play a game like that, though, is just like,
He'll explain that.
I want more, like, immediate stuff. Like, I want to get in the game, I want it to be immediate. Which is why I struggled with Minecraft at the beginning.
Well, you can technically do cheats to do that.
But I mean, I like games like Roller Coaster Tycoon and Zoo Tycoon, so I know I'll like The Sims.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I have Sims 3 on Steam, so I mean, since I do Steam Share.
So you're saying a Zelda with Sims? How would that work?
But there's different
I feel like it'd be funny. Like, it would just
There's
be
different
comical.
races
Sims are kinda
in Zelda. Like you could make a Hylian, you could make a Zora,
Zora
you
would be
could
a
make
bunch
a
of
Goron,
Gorons.
you could make a Rito, you could make the Gerudo. Like it'd just be really.
Would you be able
dumb
to
fun.
go first person with them and do something?
That'd be cool too, yeah. And I mean, this is unrealistic, so
Yeah, you can
so
dream,
the
dude.
Sims
Dream
top
big.
down, and then you can like go into like a first person mode and like interact with the people of Hyrule.
Could it be a
Just-
bunch of Deku trees?
Sure.
To make mine more unrealistic, I'll add VR to it.
It's always a good choice.
and co-op?
And also always a good choice.
Always co-op,
And
But
it's
yeah,
free.
and it's free.
And no microtransactions.
No, I want microtransactions, but they're free. And there's and every loot box in every and in every loot box, there's a chance that EA gives me money.
They pay back their debts.
Perfect game. You make money.
But yeah, I would want that Zelda Sims game with the first person view. It'd just be kind of silly and dumb to like mess. I just love the Zelda lore so much.
I'm sure they do have some mods with Zelda skins or something.
Well, there is a mod in Breath of the Wild that lets you play as Sonic, I think. There's a mod that lets you play as Zelda, which is pretty cool.
oh, I did see a mod that had the Ugandan Knuckles.
Ugandan Knuckles, yep. But yeah.
So the reason I brought that part up is we were talking so much about maybe we have too much high expectations, and now I kind of wanted us to throw out what we would like to see, but I also wanted to see the difference between each of us, because it goes a lot back to what Nick said about each person has a different version of what they want a game to be. Our games had a lot of similarities, but we each had a different thing we wanted.
Yeah.
Each of us had different things that we wanted, and that's the same thing with games we're going to see coming out now. Is developers and other people creating these games, they have their own vision of what they think would be an awesome game. And obviously with technology, like they might not even be able to create the vision they want. And that's sometimes what they show you, and then they can't make what they wanted to. What I'm trying to say though is they're trying to create their vision, and they're trying to create their art, I guess. And it might not match up exactly what we want, and that might be why we're disappointed. Because we all have vastly differing opinions. And there are some certain similarities, but we also all come from pretty similar backgrounds in a lot of ways. But everyone's going to have a different perspective, and that's why I think sometimes we just need to sit and just enjoy games for what they are more, and just to see what they wanted us to have, and less maybe about what we wanted to have.
Yeah, just enjoy games. If the game looks
I was
fun,
just kind of staring in general. Like,
oh my gosh.
Kim, I thought of a
Don't speak with your mouth.
with your unrealistic game idea. I thought of a really, really bad one.
Of course you did.
we're not going to talk about it.
No, we're not.
But
But yeah, that's kind of the reason I wanted us to go into that, is to see what our hopes and dreams were, but also just to see the differences.
yeah. And going off what you said, if the game looks fun, you should play. If you're sold on the trailer, you should play. Don't go on Metacritic and don't psych yourself out. I mean, there's nothing wrong with looking at a review for a game. I mean, the reason I look at reviews is like if the game's like really buggy or something, or like they did something and then they didn't do something that they promised or something like that. Yeah, but like if people are like, this just isn't my kind of game, I'm giving it a 5. I'm like, no, you know.
Yeah.
So we all have different tastes. Let's enjoy games for what they are. It's okay to have expectations, but you got to temper them
Yeah.
so that, you know, you don't.
And remember, you didn't make the game.
Yeah, you didn't make the game. It was, you know.
Dum-dums.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go, Ryan.
Yeah, so that's kind of the reason, just to kind of a little bit of a tie-in, but also let people know what they should be making. Because you should.
I'm telling you, Nintendo, that chic Assassin's Creed idea, I would give you so much money for that game.
Also, make the Pokemon game like what Tanner just said. Do it.
Do
Just
it.
do it. I'll get one. I'll actually buy it.
You know,
Do it!
You know everyone wants it. You know that.
It's true. We
People
do
would buy it.
Pokemon
I'll buy
RPG
it.
like
I won't
that.
buy it otherwise, but I'll buy that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and let us know what you guys think. And thank you so much for watching the All Chat Gaming
Real
Podcast.
quick, tell us what your perfect
Yes.
game would be. You know, what is your ideal, both realistic and unrealistic video game that you would want?
And tell me why it's Zelda The Sims.
But yeah, thanks for watching, and see us next week. And thank you guys so much.
On the All Chat Gaming Podcast.
Bye.